Welcome back to another game of Precision Baseball. My name is Brian Hafferkamp. I'm the designer and creator of Precision Baseball. And this game, I'm going to introduce you to the 2003 set. So this is the first opportunity to be able to show this off. I just finished it this week and getting a chance to play. I chose to play the 2003 NLDS. The division series has the Cubs against the Braves. The Cubs won this one 3-2. They won game 1 6-1 behind a very strong start from Kerry Wood. 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 6 walks, but he did have 5 strikeouts, and he beats Russ Ortiz and the Braves. Ortiz goes 7 innings, gives up 7 hits and 5 runs. That's actually pretty close to what they did in actual life. The big blow here, a 3-run homer by Eric Karros, the former or future Dodger, I think former Dodger. And he had a 3-run homer in the 3rd inning. That was a really big one. Otherwise, it was kind of dink and dump all the way through, but Kerry Wood was brilliant, held the Braves offense down, and we head to game 2. Chicago leads 1-0. Game 2 was played on October 1st, 2023. I'm going to say that a lot, 2003. So this game was played, 21 years ago, almost 21 years ago to the day. It is September 7th when I record this. And this will be game 2. We'll have Carlos Zambrano going for the Cubs, and Mike Hampton will be pitching for the Bravos. All right, and let's make our way through the starting lineups for the visiting Cubs. We're playing at Turner Field, by the way. For the visiting Cubs, it's going to be Kenny Lofton leading off, playing center field. Mark Grudzielanek is at second base, hitting second. Hitting third is Sammy Sosa in right. Moises Alou is the cleanup man. He's in left field. Aramis Ramirez is at third base. He's hitting fifth. Eric Karros at first is hitting sixth. Ramon Martinez gets the start over, it was Alex Gonzalez in game 1. He's hitting seventh, playing short. Damian Miller also with his first start of the series. It was Paul Bacco in game 1. He's hitting ninth, former Arizona Diamondback. I believe he won a World Series with them back in 2001 when they defeated the Yankees. And then hitting ninth is Carlos Zambrano, the right-handed pitcher. For the Braves, it's going to be Furcal, switch hitter. He is hitting first and playing second. Mark DeRosa is the second baseman. He's hitting second in the lineup. Gary Sheffield in right field is the third place hitter. Chipper Jones is in left. Remember, this is the left field experiment because they brought in Vinny Castilla to play third base. So Chipper moved to left and hit in the cleanup spot. Pretty decent left fielder for a guy that played third base his whole life. Javi Lopez, the catcher, he's hitting fifth. Andrew Jones in center field, he's hitting sixth. Robert Fick is the first baseman, he's hitting seventh. The aforementioned Vinny Castilla is hitting third, he's batting eighth. And Mike Hampton, the former Astros lefty, gets the start on the mound. Hampton, I remember, had his good years, he had his bad years, he had his mediocre years. He was never as good in Atlanta as he was in Houston, and just never took him to the promised land. He was a big free agent acquisition that just never took him where they wanted to go. For Chicago on the bases, going first to third, they're cautious. First to home, they're normal. Second to home, they're cautious, and the trail runners are cautious as well. For Atlanta, first to third is aggressive. First to home is cautious. Second to home, aggressive, and the trail runners are aggressive as well. So I think we got everything we need here, and we are ready for first pitch. It'll be Mike Hampton on the mound, facing off against Kenny Lofton, Mark Grudzielanek, and Sammy Sosa. The first pitch is to Kenny Lofton. Hampton on the mound can go 27 batters. He's a -1 against lefties. That means that lefty, Hampton has a 11 to 20. So it's a 20. 445, we almost started with a highlight play. It's off of Hampton's card. This is going to be a fly ball, so 064. That's a fly ball, a pop up to first. And a possible error on the play. First baseman is Robert Fick. His error rating is a -2. And we have a 070. It has to be at least an 84 for it to be an error on Fick. And so he's going to make the catch as he's in short right field and makes the catch on a pop-up to Kenny Lofton, who gets jammed on an inside fastball. Brings up Mark Grudzielanek. Grudzielanek on 1-13 to control the at-bat, 267. So that's going to be a fly ball for him. A little more traditional, 637, that's out to center field, and Andrew Jones is there to make the catch for out number 2. So 2 quick ones down in the first inning. We're coming from Turner Field. 335 down the lines, 335 in left, 380 left center, 400 in center, 390 in right center, and 330 down the right field line. So pretty symmetrical ballpark. And 8-foot fence all around. Pitched 4 pitchers, but played pretty fair. This is going to be this is Sammy Sosa at the bat. He's going to get control of the at bat. A 173 is going to be just into the fly ball range. So 3 fly balls for Mike Hampton, and 817 is going to be to center field, and that's Jones again with the catch. So a couple flyouts to center. A 1-2-3 inning for Mike Hampton, and that's going to take us to the bottom of the first inning. Still no score. Good start for the lefty Hampton. I believe the Braves won this game in real life. Leading off for the Braves is Rafael Furcal, then Mark DeRosa, who gets a start in this game. It was Giles getting the start in game 1, and then Gary Sheffield, so Sheff will be hitting third. Against Carlos Zambrano, Zambrano -3 against lefties, -2 against righties. This Cubs rotation was something else. It was set for a decade of dominance with Kerry Wood, who threw game 1, Carlos Zambrano in game 2, and Mark Pryor in game 3. Pryor would go on to hurt himself, but Wood and Zambrano pitched for a long time in Chicago, and they were a good team. They were a good team for several years. Okay, Rafi Furcal. Against righties, he's a +6, as good as you can do. He's a switch hitter, so he's hitting left-handed against Zambrano. Zambrano's a -3. So 1-13 for Furcal to control. This is going to go off the pitcher card. 980 is going to be a hit, as he gets too much of the plate on a 2-1 pitch. And the hit is going to be a single. This is a ground ball down the left field line. The left fielder is Moises Alou, who's a -4. Furcal runs at a +5, so we're going to go ahead and try to take second on the play. So the onus is going to be on Moises Alou to get to the ball and throw out the very speedy Furcal, who chops one down the line. A 665. Alou's arm is a -2, so that's not going to be an out. And Furcal in safely to second base with a hustle double. Gets things started off for the Braves. So just a little innocent chopper down the line turns into a 2-bagger. That'll bring up Mark DeRosa. DeRosa against righties is a 0. Zambrano a -2, so a 1-8. And this is off the pitcher card, 895. That's going to be another hit. Not a great start for Zambrano. A 945 could be big fly. It is. So a 16 is a fly ball down the right field line, and it stays fair, and that is going to lead to a 2-0 lead for the Braves as Mark DeRosa goes yard for a 2-run homer. So the Wrigley faithful a little bit concerned now. Mark DeRosa slugs at a 434 against lefties, just a 361 slugging against righties, but took care of business there as he pokes one down the right field line, catches it right on the barrel, and that's going to lead to a 2-0 lead for the Braves. He had a big double somewhere along the way, like game 3 or 4 or something like that in real life. I was watching the highlights, but Chef to the plate. Chef is a right-hander. He is a 1-14 for control. So 828. We have a funny family inside joke about 828. That's going to be a base hit. And that hit is a line drive down the right field line. Sheffield runs at a 1. In right field, Sammy is a -4. Sorry, that's one for the home run. This is 1 for the hit. And will Sheffield try to take 2? He runs at a +1. It's a line drive down the right field line. I think he's going to try to hustle in for 2. So Sammy is a -2 throwing. And it's going to be the same as before. So 31 to 100, he'll be out at second. Otherwise, he is safe, and he's in there safely. So a couple of hustle doubles as the Braves come out, as you would expect, with some fire in their belly. Brings up Chipper Jones with a man in scoring position and still nobody out. This will go off Zambrano's card. 682. Jones is batting left-handed. 682 is a walk. And not the start that the Cubs were hoping for. Well, we got a man at second base. Let's check our lead at second base. You can do the lead or don't do the lead. It's in the game guide. So second base, Sheffield steals at a +2, a 101. Is going to be a normal lead. So is there a pickoff attempt? No. That's all it requires. Javi Lopez to the plate. Against righties, he's a +5. So just over 1,000 OPS for the season. This is a great Javi Lopez season. So he's a 1-13 to control the at bat. A 344 is going to be a fly ball. That goes to left field, and the left fielder makes the play. That'll be out number 1. Let's see if there's any forced runner advancement. We got first and second to left field. There's a possibility here that they have to go. 636. That's not going to be one of those possibilities, as that's a hold. Brings up Andrew Jones. Jones is 1-13. This is off the pitcher. 674 against a righty is a strikeout as Zambrano gets his first K of the day. I don't think I'll move that for... That's not for this strikeout. That was for Javi Lopez. So 2 down in the inning. 2 on, 2 in, 2 outs, 2s everywhere. And it'll be Robert Fick. Fick batting left-handed. A 0.88 is going to be a grounder. That ground ball goes to second base. And at second base, the ball is picked up. We'll see what happens on the play. We've got runners at first and second, a 233. That's going to be a 4-3 putout, and that will end the inning. But 2 runs do score for Atlanta. They take a 2-0 lead in the first inning. We go to the top of the second. 2-0. Good guys. And it'll be Moises Alou, Aramis Ramirez, and Eric Karros. Braves hoping to even up this series. They're down 1-0. Alou is not going to control this at bat. 633 for Hampton against a righty is going to be a strikeout. So Hampton with his first K of the day. Excuse me. And it's Aramis Ramirez. Ramirez had a home run, big home run in his first at bat in game 1. It's going to be a 9. So against a lefty, he is a +1. Against righties, he is a 0. So 1 to 11. 552 for Ramirez against a lefty is a line drive. And that liner goes to left field. No problem in left as Chipper makes a good play. And that's out number 2. Brings up Eric Karros to the plate. Like I said before, Karros with a big 3-run home run in his last game. 0.79 though is going to be a ground ball. And that is to second base. 0.24. Possible error on the second baseman. That's Grudz. His error rating is a 1. It's an error from 14 to 21, and it's a 24. Wow, that was close. As he knocks it down, picks it up, and makes a good throw to first. 1-2-3 inning for Mike Hampton. And it is 2-0 Braves as we head to the bottom of the second inning. It'll be Castilla, Hampton, and then back to the top of the order. 16, Zambrano against righties is, this is going to be a +1 to Vinny Castilla, so 1 to 11. So off the pitcher, 168. So a righty is a grounder. That's a ground ball to second base. No problem for Grudz. Makes a good throw to first, and that's out number 1. Mike Hampton, the pitcher. Pretty decent hitting pitcher, actually. Hit 200 against right-handers. He bats right-handed, even though he throws left-handed. This is against right-handed pitching. He's a -1. He's a -2. So he's a 1 to 7 to control. 107 is going to be a grounder. And that ground ball goes to second base again. Grudz up for the challenge. He's made the last 3 plays. As the Braves keep pounding it into the ground. Carlos Zambrano. Pretty salty about a 3.5 FIP. And 2003. Brings up Rafi for call. -3 against lefties. So he's a 1 to 13. 859 against a right-hander. Is going to be a base hit for Rafi for call. As he hits a line drive to right field. And that'll be a 2-for-2 night so far for Rafi for call. As he's on first base with 2 outs. 2-0 lead. Let's see, for call steals at a +4. A 949 is going to be a big lead. We'll see if there's a pickoff attempt. 372, no pickoff attempt. So Rafi for call's got a big lead. There's no pickoff attempt. Zambrano is a +2. Miller is a 3 on his arm. So that makes him a 5. So that makes for call a 5 now. So he's a 0. We're going to go ahead and try to steal. For call was 1 for 2 in steals in game number 1. So we're looking at the second base here. 226. Oh, and he's just in there ahead of the throw. And the big lead pays off with a stolen base. He would have been, I think he would have been safe either way with that roll. So Mark DeRosa to the plates. DeRosa with a 2-run homer in his first plate appearance. Not going to have that kind of luck here. As he's a 1 to 8 for control. Let's see. It's a 15. So 390. Yeah, it's going to be a fly ball as he lifts it in the air again. 477. That's a fly ball to right field. And up to the challenge is the right fielder. With 2 outs, there's no need to check anything else. That's just the 3rd out. And the Braves threaten with a runner in scoring position but can't bring him home. And that's going to take us 2-0 lead for the Braves into the top of the 3rd. This is game 2 of the 2003 NLDS. For the Cubs, it's going to be Ramon Martinez, Damian Miller, and Carlos Zambrano. For Hampton, he's got a control the at-bat. 657 against a righty is just into his walk range. That's actually 657. So Ramon Martinez takes the close pitch, and he's down at first base. He steals at a 0. 505 is a normal lead. There's no pickoff. Not going to steal with him. Javi is a +1 and Hampton is a +1, so that makes for a -2 for Ramon Martinez, and that's just not a very good percentage. It's about 35% for him to steal second base. That's not enough for me. All right, next up. So with the walk, Hampton goes down 2. Next up is Damian Miller. I'm sure I already rolled, but I'm going to roll again. That was a 9. And the 11, Miller against a lefty is a +1. And that makes control go to Damian Miller. 797 is a hit by pitch. He has 3 chances, 796 to 798. And he gets plunked. So Hampton comes too far inside with a fastball, catches him on the hip. And that's going to bring up the pitcher, Carlos Zambrano. Zambrano against lefties. 375 average. 1,000 OPS. This is not a guy we're just going to ask him to bunt. Against lefties, he's a -1. He's batting right-handed. He's a switch hitter, so he's batting right-handed against Mike Hampton. So he is a 1 to 9 for control. This comes off Zambrano. 792 is a walk as he takes a walk. So Hampton loads the bases. Here in the top of the 3rd, bases loaded, nobody out. It's gonna be a tough one. The Braves are gonna play at what we call double play depth. So I believe I have that in here. So I'll just show you. So the defense can choose to play the infield at double play depth if a runner on first or runners at first and third with less than 2 outs. That's what we have here. We have bases loaded, same thing. Makes turning double plays easier. So here are the adjustments. The DP rating for the second and shortstop go to +2. So normally this is going to be your DP rating here. So for Call is a 0, he would go to a 2. DeRosa is a -1, he would go to a +1. Any ground ball hit between third and short or second and first automatically turns into a single. So this is mostly on highlight plays if it's between the fielders. And any ground ball single up the middle becomes a ground ball play result. So a single to center, left center, or right center field, you can see that. So we'll play that double play. Everybody gets a +2. That's the main thing, is the middle infielders get a +2. And if there's a chance for a ball to get past a second baseman or shortstop in a highlight play, we'll deal with that, as it'll get through for a single, because basically you're bunching the middle infielders closer to second base. So we'll play double play, and it will be who to the plate? Kenny Lofton. He's going to be tough to double up because he runs at a +3. Hampton really, he needs a strikeout in a pretty bad way. Against lefties, he's a -1, and he's a 0. So 1 to 9 for control. This is off Lofton. 137. This could be the ground ball that we're looking for. To third base. So no adjustments are made. This will be just a regular play. The play is made at third base by Vinny Castilla. Yeah, we'll see what happens on the play. A 0.75 is here. Base is loaded. That's going to be a 5-3 put out. The runner from third scores. Both runners advance. It's like a little tapper down the third base line. The only play for Vinny is to first base, and he does get the speedy Lofton. But that's going to be an RBI. And call that an out. We'll call this the fielder's choice. He goes to third on the fielder's choice, and he goes to second. So they do get the out, but they give up a run. I'm going to play the infield back on this one. Grids Atlantic to the plate. He is a 1 to 13. So this is off of Hampton's card. 5-16 to a righty is going to be a line drive to left field. And the catch is made in left. So let's check out second and third is here. Chipper Jones makes the catch, 644, and it must have been not a very far line drive because he makes the catch and the runners have to hold. So we'll go L7 on the play. And that's a big out there as Grids Atlantic hits it hard, but he hits it right to Chipper, who makes a nice play on a sinking liner. Both runners are going to hold. And we've got runners at second and third with 2 outs now. Hampton facing Sammy Sosa, the very dangerous. If I was really smart, I would walk him. But then you got to deal with a Lou, so I'm not sure with the bases loaded. Hampton is our #1 starter, so we're just going to send him up there. Against lefties, he's a +3. Righties, he's a 0. So this comes off of Sammy's card. A 7-13 is going to be a walk. So Sammy draws the walk anyway. And we have 2 outs and the base is loaded. So same difference as if we intentionally walked him. Maybe intentionally walked him. That used to happen. Against lefties, Olu is going to be a 1 to 14 for control. 691 against a lefty is going to be a single. 691, a single for Moises Alou. He hit 965 OPS against lefties. So that's going to be a base hit. 12 is going to be a ground ball into right center field as he gets it past the second baseman, DeRosa. And let's see. That's going to score the run from third. No problem. So that'll be at least 1 RBI. And let's check out Zambrano. Zambrano runs at a 0. I just give the pitchers a 0 running. And we are going second to home. The Cubs are cautious. So second to home on a 0. And to right center field is player's choice. Let's see who catches the ball. It is the right fielder, So that's going to be Chef. He's a -2. Zambrano runs at a 0, so that's going to be on Sheffield. Let's go ahead and send Zambrano. Even though they're cautious, they're trying to get back into this one. They're down 2-1. Barreling around third is going to be Carlos Zambrano. Sheffield is a -1, so a 31 to 100. He gets him at the plate. He's going to be safe at the plate, so Zambrano scores from second. Where is he? Here. So 2 RBIs. And does Sammy Sosa advance to third? He is a -1. First to third, they're cautious. So to right center field, that's going to be on me. Oh, I guess we got to think about the trail runners. So he's going here, and it's really the trail runners. They're cautious on their trail runners. He is a -1, so that's going to be a hold for Sammy Sosa. And if Sammy holds, then the player at first has to hold. So that's a 2 RBI single. It's now 3-2 Chicago. Big clutch hit from Moises Alou. I think I moved that. And the Cubs take the 3-2 lead in this one. Aramis Ramirez to the plate against Mike Hampton. Against lefties, he's a +1. So this is control off of Aramis Ramirez's card. Another high roll, 892. That's me another base hit. And this one is a line drive into left field. Hampton not fooling anybody at this point. We'll see if Sosa scores. He is a -1. They're cautious going second to home. And in left field, that's going to be a hold. So bases loaded again. This time for Eric Karros. Big right-hander. Played for the Dodgers for many years. Grounded out to second in his last at-bat. He is a right-hander. So that makes him a 1-14 for control. A 0-5-0, though, is going to be a ground ball. This one goes to the third baseman. It's Castilla. He's up with it. So he makes the grab. And we got to look at our third baseman with the bases loaded. 348. Bases loaded. That's going to be a 5-4. Put out as he goes the short way. And that is out number 3. So the Cubs leave the bases loaded, but they did score 3. Could have been a massively huge inning, but already pretty big as it was. For the Braves, it's going to be Sheffield, Jones, and Lopez in the bottom of the third. They're down 3-2 all of a sudden. And Carlos Zambrano on the mound. He's going to get control of this. A 0-96 against Chef is a ground ball. A grounder goes to second base, and the play will be made at second by Mark Grudzielanek. And that's out number 1. Chipper Jones stands in. He's a lefty batter. He's a +6 against righties. Zambrano -3, so a 1-13 for Chipper. 888. All right, we got a possible highlight play. Let's see what that is. That's going to be a double, so we don't have a highlight play on a double. I'm just trying to think. Let me check something. All right, that's what I thought. So we have a double, and what I'm going to do is, this is something I've been thinking about adding in. And I think I'm going to add it into this version so you can start playing this. On a single, double, or triple, if you get a 3 of a kind, which we have here, so it's a double. Excuse me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to roll for the hit location. It's a 2. That's going to be a line drive down the left field line. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to perform, if it's a line drive, fly ball, or blooper, excuse me, I'm going to perform a range check on the left fielder, in our case, the left fielder. And we're going to see if the left fielder can get there. Now his, I want to say his range is first, right? Yeah. So his range is first. So this is a Lou. He's a -2 on his range. Let's see if he gets to this ball or not. If he gets to it, then he's going to make the catch for an out. Otherwise, it's going to remain a hit. He is a -2, which puts him in this column here. So we can see that right there. Let's see if he makes the catch. It's a 452. He does not. He almost does. He almost gets to the ball, but he can't get there. So that's going to be a double for Chipper Jones. As he laces one down the line, Lou can't quite get there. He's going to gather it in the corner and get it back in. That's going to be a 1-out double for Chipper. So on a single, double, or triple, the fielder is going to have a chance to make a play on it if his range, if it's a triple, if it's a 3 of a kind, and his range hits within the range check, he can make the catch. So it's kind of a lot of ifs. Chipper is a -1 stealing, so 774 is going to be normal, a normal lead. 847 is almost a check or pick up, but not quite. So it'll be Javi Lopez to the plates at a stealing a -1. He's not going to steal second. Javi Lopez is a 1-13 for control. A 228 is going to be a fly ball. That goes to 361. That's a fly ball to left field, and it's caught in left field by Moises Alou. Let's see if there's any runner advancement. Just a fly ball to left with a runner at first. A 0-23. That's actually going to be the runner has to go. So this is a deep fly ball. Chipper's going to challenge Moises Alou in left field. Alou is a -2 on his throwing. Chipper is a -1 on his running. So that puts the onus on the outfield arm of Alou. Throwing it from deep left field, 221. That's almost a throwing error on him, but he's going to be safe. I'm sorry, I was checking at second base. The same thing applies. So from deep left field, he makes the throw. Chipper's going to advance on the F7. And Chipper Jones now at third base with 2 down. And Andrew to the plates. Andrew Jones, 461, is going to be a line drive. And this one is going to go to, so we have another 3 of a kind, this time on the fielder check. So that means we have to do a range check on the left fielder. So doing another range check as this line drive is hit to Moises Alou. Alou is a -2, a 216, and this one also out of his range. So that's going to drop in for a hit as he can't get there on that line drive, and that's going to be a base hit for Andrew Jones. So that's a single to left field. That's going to score the run from third. And the Braves tie it up at 3. So it's a base hit. I guess I should check to see if there's an error out there. No error on the play. Brings up Robert Fick. So Andrew Jones steals at a -1. A 180 is going to be a short lead, so no pickoff attempts. 3-3 our score here on the bottom of the third. Robert Fick against righties is a +6. Zambrano a -3, so 1-13. This comes off Fick's card. 590 against a right-hander is going to be a strikeout. So Robert Fick now 0-2 as he strikes out with Andrew Jones at first base, but the Braves do get 1 in the bottom of the third, and they tie it up at 3 apiece. Good game here, game 2 of the 2003 NLDS. This is NLDS number 2, by the way. There were 2 of them. Florida and San Francisco were in the other. And just a great one. It was a series walk-off as Jeff Conine throws out JT Snow at the plate. And that ended the game, ended the series. And the Marlins went on to go all the way to the World Series and win it. So it was a huge play. All right. Ramon Martinez, Damian Miller, and Carlos Zambrano against Mike Hampton. And Ramon Martinez is... no, he's got no official at bat. He walked and scored back in the 3rd inning. This is the top of the 4th. We're tied at 3. So Hampton a lefty, so +1 against a 0, so a 1-11. So this comes off Hampton's card. 437 against a righty is a line drive. Hampton's K percentage under 20%. Not a huge strikeout pitcher. He's more of a ground ball type guy. So what did I say? I said a line drive to 630. That's a line drive to center field. And that liner is going to be caught in center field by Andrew Jones. You say Andrew, I say Andrew. I think it's technically Andrew Jones. Many people call him Andrew. Damian Miller to the plate. He was hit by a pitch and also scored back in that 3rd inning. This time it comes off Hampton's card. A 656 against a righty is right at the top of his K range, so he strikes out just the second batter of the game. 2 down now, facing Carlos Zambrano. Zambrano walked and scored on the 2-out single from Moises Alou. Zambrano batting right-handed against the lefty pitcher. He is going to have a 562 come off of Hampton's card. 562 right at the K range. So that's 2 of them, like right on the strikeout range. Oh, it's in the medium middle. Sorry. He's batting right-handed. All right, so that's a 1-2-3 inning. So 1-2-3 inning plus the strikeout is going to give him a little bit of a bump on his stamina. Both pitchers looking pretty good at this point. They've each given up 3 runs. It's 3-3 as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Zambrano will face off against Vinny Castilla, Mike Hampton, and Rafi for call. Zambrano with control 475 against a righty is going to be a liner. 1-0-0. It'll be a liner to left field. And 654, no problem, out in left field as Moises Alou makes a nice catch. That'll be out number 1. Hampton to the plate, another good hitter. 658 OPS against right-handers. He's batting right-handed, and he is a 1-7 for control. So 264 off Zambrano's card is going to be a grounder. The grounder goes to second base, no problem, as Grudzelantic makes the catch. And that's going to bring up top of the order Rafi for call. For call, batting left-handed against Zambrano. He's a +6 to a -3, so 1-13. And Zambrano with a 738 against a lefty is a walk. So third time to be on base for Rafi for call, this time via the walk. He's got a single and a double as well. For call, steals at a +4, so 567 is a normal lead. And there is no pickoff. So I think we've established he's what? He's a 2 plus a 3. So that will make him a -1. That's with a big lead, we could do it. With a normal lead, I don't think he's going to be stealing. So up next is Mark DeRosa. DeRosa with a 2-run jack in his first at-bat. He flied out to right in his last at-bat. This time he is a 1-8, so this is off his card. 636 against a righty is going to be a strikeout, as Zambrano ends the inning with a strikeout. And that'll be all she wrote for the Braves in the fourth as they strand a runner at first base. Leave that there for the strikeout. Go to the top of the fifth now. This is game 2 of the 2003 NLDS. We're tied at 3. Good tight one here at Turner Field. The Cubs lead the series 1-0. And we've got Hampton facing off against the top of the order. Lofton, Grudzelantic, and slamming Sammy Sosa. Against the lefty, Kenny Lofton is going to be a 1-9. 321. It goes to Hampton. That's a ground ball. The grounder goes to second base. No problem at second base. Both second basemen have been active in this one. Grudzelantic to the plate. Grudzelantic 0 for 2 with a flyout and a lineout. He's facing Hampton. He's a +3, so 1-13. But this comes off of Hampton's card. 382 against a righty is a fly ball, as this one's lifted out to center field. No problem in center field for Andrew Jones, who makes the catch. Little can of corn for out number 2, and that's going to bring up Sammy Sosa. Sosa 0 for 1. He flew out to center field and walked. He's going to be a 1-13 for control, so this comes off Sammy's card. 678 is going to be another walk, so second straight walk for Sammy Sosa. Is that right? Yeah. And that brings up Moises Alou. That's the 4th walk of the game for Mike Hampton. Walk percentage at 9.5. So walked a lot of guys. But his ground ball percentage is off the charts. He's 50-60%, like 58%. So Moises Alou to the plate. Alou against lefties is 1-14. 870. That's going to be a base hit for Moises. That's a line drive down the left field line. And we're going to call that a single. Sammy goes to second. Let's see if he makes it to third. He is a He's a -1 running. So they're cautious going first to third. So that's here. He's a -1. Down the left field line, he's a hold. So not even a chance there. As Chipper gets there and gets it back in quickly to hold the runners. Brings up Aramis Ramirez. Alou now 2 for 3. A couple singles and a couple of RBIs. Brings up Aramis Ramirez. Ramirez, in his last at bat, also hit a single. Against lefties, he's a +1. So he's a 1-11 for control. But this comes off Hampton, 310. Against a righty is a fly ball. And that goes to 883. That's a pop-up to short. No problem at short. And with a pop-up, no need to check anything else. We just go P6. As for call, waits for it on the edge of the left field grass. And the Cubs threaten in the 5th. They put 2 on, they leave 2. Still tied at 3. Good job of Hampton by getting out of that one. Jamming Aramis Ramirez with a fastball inside, gets him to pop it up. We head to the bottom of the 5th. It is 3-3. For the Braves, it'll be Chef, Jones, and Javi Lopez against Carlos Zambrano. Zambrano against the righty. Against Sheffield is a 1-14, so this is off Chef's card. 227. It's gonna be a grounder. As he rolls, well, he doesn't roll over it. He hits it to second base, and the second baseman Grudzelantic makes another play. Sheffield is grounded out to him twice. Brings up Chipper Jones. Jones is a 1-13 for control. 874, that could be real trouble. 874 is going to be a base hit against a righty. And that's going to be an infield hit as he smokes one to the shortstop. And diving play made by the shortstop, but he's not able to get up and make the play. So that's going to be an infield hit. Chipper safe at first. He's now 2 for 2 with a single and a double, along with a walk. Javi Lopez flied out twice so far. He's going to control this at bat, and 853, that could be a big one. 853 is a double against a right-hander, and that's a 4. That's a fly ball off of the left field wall, as he just barely misses a home run, so we'll call that a 2-bagger. And we'll check out Chipper going first to home. They are cautious going first to home. Chipper runs at a -1. So first to home, cautious, left field, that's a hold. So we're going to wind up with runners at second and third base, as Zambrano gives up a big double to Javi Lopez. And Andrew Jones stands in. Big right-handed batter. Had a good year, about an 860 OPS. And Andrew Jones is a 1-13 for control. So this comes off his bat. 819 is going to be a base hit against a right-hander. And that'll be a line drive down the left field line. We'll call that a single. That's going to score Chipper from third. That gives the Braves the 1-run lead. And we'll see about Lopez. He's a -1. So the Braves going second to home are aggressive. -1 down the left field line is my choice. We got Alou in left field, who is a -4. So let's go ahead and try to score him. That's not a great arm out there. So this is going to be on Moises Alou. He's got to roll a 31 to 100. Otherwise, Javi's going to be safe at the plate. It's a 546, and Javi is going to be in there safely. On the base hit, Andrew Jones. just runs at a -2. And trail runners, they're aggressive. So on a throw to home, a -2 is a question mark. With one out, we're not going to try that. So with one out, we'll leave Andrew Jones at first base with the 2 RBI single. That gives the Braves a 5-3 lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Big one from Andrew Jones. Brings up Robert Fick with the runner at first base. So Jones steals at a -1. 0-37. That's a short lead. Zambrano trying to get himself through the 5th. Fick is going to be a 1-14 for control. 8:31, another big roll for the Braves. 8:31 against a righty is going to be another single. This one is a line drive into left center field. It's picked up by the left fielder, Alou. Andrew Jones, a -2. I don't think he's going to be going anywhere. First to third is aggressive, though. -2 running into left center field. That's my choice. I'm just going to leave him there. Not risk it. Manny Castilla to the plate. Maybe if the pitcher was up, I would risk it. Castilla to the plate is going to control this at bat. A 5-10 against a righty is a line drive. That liner is hit 2. 191. That's a line drive to left field, and the ball is caught in left by Alou. That will be just out number 2. Let's see if there's any runner advancement. So runners at first and second. Looks like it's going to be all my choice, so I'm just going to let that be. Zambrano against the pitcher. Let's just roll that again. Would have been a good roll for whoever. Probably for the batter. If it was meant to be, then it will be. So 1-7 for control. This is Hampton. 644 against a right-hander is a strikeout. So Zambrano gets the strikeout. He does give up 2 more runs, but he does strand 2. Got a 5-3 lead for Atlanta over Chicago as we head to the top of the 6th. And Hampton's still in the game. He'll face off against Karros, Martinez, and Damian Miller. A 729 off of Hampton's card against a righty. 729 is going to be another walk. And Karros is a 0. 566 to a 0 is a normal lead. No pickoff attempt. So Karros, probably not going to run with him. Hampton is a +1 and Javi is a +1. So that would make Karros a -2, and that's like no-go zone for me. An 11 to Ramon Martinez. He is 0 for 1. He's got a 1 to 11 to control, so this is off his card. 475 against a lefty is a strikeout. So Hampton gets the K of the Cubs shortstop. Brings up Damian Miller. He struck out and been hit by a pitch. Let's check our runner again. 245. That is normal and no pickoff. Hampton, a pickoff artist, so I'm going to make sure that I do that for him. Damian Miller against the lefty is a +1, so he's a 1/11. This is off his card. 931 is going to be a double as he hits a fly ball to right center field. This one carrying it. One hops the wall. Picked up by Andruw Jones. And Karros runs at a -4. The Cubs going first to home are normal. Normal, a -4 is here to right center field. That's going to be my choice. Let's see if it's Andruw Jones. He's a 14. Karros is a -4. And that's about as bad as you could be. Maybe if it was a faster runner, I would send him, but not going to send him here with nobody out or 1 out and 2 on. So I think that's going to be the end of the line for Carlos Zambrano as the Cubs are looking. They're going to look to a pinch hitter here. So we got on the bench. I try to put the guys who are definites in here. Doug Glanville is an option. Alex Gonzalez is an option. Let's go with Alex Gonzalez. He started game 1. And we'll do a double switch, so we'll put the pitcher spot here. And we'll just insert him into the game. So Gonzalez comes in. He came in at short in the 6th. Definitely don't lose anything with the glove. So Hampton gives up the base hits. Oh. Gonzalez 1 out, 2 on the pond. Facing Hampton, he is a 1/11 to control, a 230 against a lefty is going to be a ground ball. Braves will give up an out here. They're not going to play the infield in. So ground ball to 0-19 is a grounder to first. And the play is made at first by Fick. Let's see what happens on the play. So Robert Fick, runners at second and third, 7-19. That's here. Second and third. A 3 unassisted. A run scores, and the runner moves up to third. So fielder's choice, we'll go 3 unassisted. That's going to be out number 2. That is going to cause the run to score. So RBI given to Alex Gonzalez. And going to third is Damian Miller. Hampton 1 out away from preserving the lead. It's 5-4 now. Braves over the Cubs. Kenny Lofton to the plates. This will be off of Hampton. A 637 to a lefty is a strikeout as Hampton with the exclamation point. He's going to stay there. And we head to the top of the 6th inning. Need a new pitcher for the Cubbies. And let's see. Put in Juan Cruz. Don't know if he was available for this game, but I'm going to put him in anyway. Cruz is a slender right-hander, if I remember correctly. It's going to be here. He can go 11 batters. So basically he's hitting here, but I'm not sure if he's gonna actually bat or not. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hits given up by Zambrano in 6 innings. Oh, I'm sorry, 5. Just 5 innings. Gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 runs, all of them earned. 2 walks. 1, 2, 3, 4 Ks. And he's on the hook for the loss, so we'll see how that turns out for Carlos. For the Braves, it's going to be top of the order, Rafael Furcal, Mark DeRosa, and Gary Sheffield against Juan Cruz. Cruz is side-arming right-hander with a good slider. And he'll face a golf against Furcal. Furcal batting left-handed. He's a -2 against lefties. +6, so that makes him a 1-14 for control. Furcal. You won't control this. This will be off the pitcher. 889 against a lefty is going to be in the hit range. As for Call, he's 2 for 2 on the day. He's going to get another hit here. This is a 557. That's a base knock, and that'll be a blooper into left center field. Picked up by the center fielder. So that's going to be a single. The center fielder is Kenny Lofton. He's a 1. Furcal runs at a 5. And I think Furcal busting it out of the box is going to try again for another hustle double. So Lofton's arm is a 0. So we're here 101 to 210. He's going to gun out Rafi Furcal trying to go 276. Oh, it was close. Just into the red, and Furcal slides in just ahead of the throw with another double as he hustles that one out. And Furcal now standing at second base. With a premium base stealer, I like to roll for the lead even when they're at second base. So 342. He has got a normal lead. Is there a pickoff? Nope. So Mark DeRosa to the plate with a man in scoring position. 16. This is going to come off the pitcher. A 908, though, is going to be another hit. As Juan Cruz not providing any relief here. This is a 564. That's another base hit. And that'll be a ground ball into left field. It's going to send the runner to third. He'll be at first. Furcal runs at a 5. Our left fielder is Alu. He's a -4. So that's a no-brainer. We're going to run on him. Alu needs a 31 to 100 to throw out Furcal at the plate. Otherwise, he'll be safe. He is going to be safe. And Furcal scores on the RBI single from Mark DeRosa, who's come up big in this one. He's got a 2-run homer and now an RBI single. Should just be there, right? So DeRosa at first base. I guess we got to see if he moved up on the throw. He runs at a -1. Sorry. The Braves are aggressive with their trail runners. It's a -1. He advances on a throw to home. So good base running there as he takes the second base. And he advances on the fielder's choice. So Chef to the plate with a man in scoring position now. Juan Cruz to the plate. This will be off Chef's card. A 692 against a righty is a walk. I remember Sheffield that season, well, the whole time he was with the Braves, popping the ball up a lot. Man, it was like every time there was an opportunity for him to drive in a run, he would just pop it up. Like, my gosh. I remember being so frustrated by that. All right, runners at first and second. Chipper Jones to the plate. He's going to control this at bat. A 741 is going to be a base hit for Chipper. as he hits a line drive into right field. And we'll see if DeRosa scores. He's a -1. So going second to home, they're aggressive. Second to home, a -1 on a line drive to right field. That's up to me. The right fielder is Sammy. He's a -4. Not a great defensive outfield for the Cubs. So we're going to try that. This is going to be on Sammy. 31 to 100 again, and he'll get him. He's not going to, and that's going to be an RBI single for Chipper. As the lead stretches now to 7 to 3. And Chipper with the RBI. Does Sheffield move up? He runs at a +1. Trail runners are aggressive. +1 is an advance. Chipper runs at a -1. That's an advance. So both base runners move up on the throw to home. And Juan Cruz. How long can we stick with this guy? He's got 2 on, 2 in, nobody out so far. Facing a righty, a 147. That's going to be a ground ball. And that grounder goes to 261. Grounder goes to second base. Potential error, 092. Grudzelantic is a +1. So that's not going to be an error on the play. Hit to second base with runners to second and third. 642. It's here. 4-3 put out. The run scores. And I think it should be a runner advance with a 4-3. So that'll be out number 1. He advances on the fielder's choice. He scores on the fielder's choice. Score is now 8 to 3. As Javi Lopez comes through with an RBI ground out. That brings up Andrew Jones, runner at third base, and 1 out. And 11. Andrew Jones is a 1 to 15 for control. 908. That's going to be a 2-bagger, and this is going to be the end of the game for Juan Cruz, who doesn't provide any relief for the Cubs. This is a blooper down the right field line that Andrew's going to take for a double. That scores Chipper from third. And the Braves are breaking out in this one as they lead 9 to 3. Juan Cruz, thanks for playing. And we will go with Dave Veers. Dave Veers got into the game. Another righty. He can go 4 for his stamina. So just 2/3 of an inning for Juan Cruz. Cruz gives up 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. 4 runs so far. 1 walk and no Ks. Not a great appearance for him. So Beers will face off against Robert Fick, who's a -2 against lefties. I'm sorry, he's a +6 against righties. So 1 to 14 for Fick. 293 off Beers' card is a fly ball. This one goes to center field, and it is a possible error in center field, but that's going to be Kenny Lofton, who's a 0. So he's going to make the catch in center. We'll just leave Andrew in scoring position. I'm not even going to check that. Brings up Vinny Castilla. Castilla to the plates is over 3. Lined out in his last at bat. He's a 1-13 for control. So 0.94 is going to be a grounder. That goes to 747. It's a grounder to third. And 690 is going to be a catch made. Let's see what happens on the play. 290. So runner at second base, 5-3 on the putout. So that's 4 runs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll call that 4 runs for the Braves. Totally screwed that up. We're going to have to play out the 6th inning. Okay. We'll just do it backwards. We'll play out the 6th inning here. All right. It'll be Hampton against Gruzelanek, Sosa, and Alou. Bottom of the 6th inning to the top. That's how it works. A 9 for Gruzelanek is going to be a 1-13. So 8-18 for Gruzelanek. Against a lefty is a single. And that's going to be a ground ball into left field off of Mike Hampton. Hampton now down to 0. Facing off against Sammy Sosa. He's a 0 to steal. Let's do that again with the right dice. Now I'm all thrown off. 0-16 for a 0. That's a big lead. No throw over to first. The big lead gives him a +1. Hampton is a 1. Lopez is a 1. So that makes him a -1 overall to steal. That's not going to work for me. Slammin' Sammy is 0 for 1. He's got a couple of walks. They managed to keep him from hitting home runs, but we'll see here. He's a 1-13 for control, a 380. Against a lefty is going to be a strikeout, actually. Hampton gets 1 back. And brings up Moises Alou. Alou with a 1-14. So 209 off of Alou's card is going to be a grounder. And that ground ball goes to 226. Second base, collected and picked up by the second baseman. It's DeRosa, 407. That's a 4-6 double play check. So we're going to check DeRosa's double play rating. So this is going to be out. We're out number 2, and DeRosa is a double play rating of a -1. So let's see, it's a 101 to 360 to get him. And he's going to be safe at first. No error on the throw. So we'll go 4-6 on the putout. That's a fielder's choice. There are 2 outs in the inning. as Alou beats out the throw to first. And that'll bring up Aramis Ramirez. Ramirez 1 for 3 in this one. It's a 3, so this comes off of Ramirez's card. 599 against the lefty is a line drive. And a liner to 330. That's a line drive to left field. No problem in left for Chipper as he makes the catch for out number 3. So the Cubs strand 1. And we head to the top of the 7th inning. We're going to leave Hampton out there since it's now 9 to 3. We'll leave Hampton out there. All the rolls are going to come off of the batter card because he's a 0. So we'll see how this works out for him. He'll face off against Karros, Martinez, and Miller. Actually, it's Karros, the pitcher spot, and then Miller. So 102 is going to be a grounder. That ground ball goes to 696. Grounder to shortstop. Play made at short by Rafi for call. And that's out number 1. Gonna get a pinch hitter here. So we'll bring in Doug Glanville to pinch hit. He is a 0 and a 1-0. So pinch hitting for the pitcher is Doug Glanville, who is playing in the outfield in this season. It's going to come off his card. A 606 against a lefty is a strikeout. So Hampton gets the K. And that's going to bring up Damian Miller, the catcher. He's 1 for 2 with a double. Against a lefty, he's going to be a 1 to 11. So this is a 124. That's another ground ball. This time to the shortstop. And the shortstop is for call. He's going to make the play. That's a 1-2-3 inning. So we're going to give Hampton a +1 on that. He sits down the Cubs in the 7th. It's 9 to 3 is the score. We got Dave Veers in. Veers, he's at 3 for his stamina, so he's going to try to eke out another inning. Hampton's already at 0. Let's go ahead and remove him from the game. We'll get a pinch hitter. That'll be, let's say, Jesse Garcia. Garcia comes in. He's a -1 all over the place. So the advantage is to Veers, 1 to 9. 129 is going to be a ground ball to third base. And the play is made at third by Aramis Ramirez over to first for out number 1. Back to the top of the order with Rafi for call. For call, 3 for 3. He's got a couple of doubles, a single, a walk, stolen base, and he scored 2 runs. So as a lefty, he's going to be a 1 to 14 for control, and a 100 is going to be a grounder. And that ground ball goes to the shortstop, and no problem at short for Alex Gonzalez, who is in the game now. I'm going to bring up Mark DeRosa to the plate. DeRosa 2 for 4, but he's made 2 of his hits count, or his 2 hits count. He's got 3 RBIs and 2 runs scored. He's going to control this at bat. A 342, though, is a fly ball as he lifts one to left field, and no problem in left for Lou, who makes the catch. So that'll be a 3 up, 3 down inning. 1, 2, 3 for Dave Veers. And that'll take us to the top of the 8th inning. Need to get a new pitcher for the Bravos. And we'll use Trey Hodges. He's a righty. He can go 6 for his stamina, and he comes in here. So Hampton goes 7 innings. He gives up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits, 3 runs. They're all earned. A lot of walks here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 walks. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Ks. So balanced it out a little bit. He's on the hook for the win. The Braves are up 9-3. And it's Trey Hodges against the bottom of the order. It'll be Gonzalez, Lofton, and Gruzelanek. Alex Gonzalez in this game is 0 for 1. He does have an RBI. 19 against a righty. He's going to be a 1 to 11 for control. So 864 comes out the pitcher card. That's going to be a base hit for Gonzalez. And the base hit will be a single. That's a ground ball into right center field. It's picked up by the center fielder. Gonzalez only runs at a -1, so not going to try any funny business there. He's not thinking too out of the box. At first base, 717 to a -1 is a normal lead. A 986, there's a pickoff attempt. So let's do that. Trey Hodges is a 0. So 981 to 1,000, he picks him off, and it's close, but he's back safely. So it'll be Kenny Lofton to the plates. Lofton with a man on first. He is going to be a 1 to 13 for control. So 431 against a righty is a line drive for Lofton. So he gets good wood on it. 121. That's a liner to left field. Caught by Chipper and left. That'll be out number 1. Let's see if there's any advancement. Looks like that's all going to be on me, so I'm not going to send Gonzalez. He'll hold at first base. It's either red or yellow, so it's either a hold explicitly or my choice, and I'm not going to try to send them. They need all the base runners they can get. Gruzelanek is a 1 to 13 for control. A 0-0-2 is not going to help him much, as this is a ground ball. And that grounder goes to 0-32. That's a grounder to first. Play is made at first base by Robert Fick. And let's see what happens on the play. With a runner at first, 619. That's going to be a 3-6-3 double play. And that is going to get him out of the inning. Good job by Trey Hodges coming in. And the Braves are out of the 8th. They still lead 10-3. I'm sorry, 9-3. And let's get a new pitcher for the Cubs. Dave Veers is one of their premier pitchers. So how about Antonio Alfonseca? Right-handed pitcher. Veers goes 2/3. Sorry, this guy only went 1/3. So he goes 1 2/3. He gives up no hits, no runs, no walks or Ks. So coming in is Antonio Alfonseca, the six-fingered man. And he'll face off against Chef, Jones, and Lopez. Chipper Jones and Lopez. Alfonseca, a 1/14, so this is off his card, 975. Yeah, that's no good. That'll be a hit off the pitcher card. A 544 for Sheffield is going to be a single, as he hits a little blooper into center field, a little Texas leaguer. 445, almost an opportunity to check the range, but that'll be a blooper for Chef. That's his second hit of the day. He is 2 for 4 in 5 plate appearances. Brings up Chipper Jones. This is off Jones's card. 640 against a righty is a walk. So Chipper has been on base every single time. Terrific series for him so far. And that'll be runners at first and second. Sheffield is a legit chance to steal, so let's check him out. 285. That's a normal lead and no pickoff. Javi Lopez to the plate. He's 1 for 4. And 18 goes to Alfonseca, 575. He is going to be a strikeout, as he gets out number 1 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. That'll bring up Andrew Jones. The Jones brothers doing damage here in this game. This comes off Alfonseca's card. 053 is a grounder against the righty. It's a ground ball to third base, and the catch is made at third by Castilla. We have runners at first and second. A 214. That's going to be a 5-4 double play chance, so they go to second base for 1. So Chipper will be out at second base. That's out number 2. The third baseman, his double play rating is a 0. He needs a 541 to 710, and he doesn't get it. So beating it out at first base is Andrew Jones. Tough to double him up usually. And he'll be there with a 5-4 fielder's choice, but there are 2 outs in the inning. This guy's going to move to third. He has to. It was a forced play. And so Alfonseca trying to get out of this 8th inning, having given up no runs, but he's got runners at first and third, with Robert Fick coming to the plate. This could be a really bad result, as Fick is a 1-14 for control. A 958 is going to be a double for Robert Fick, as he has a line drive into left center field. It's picked up by the left fielder, Alou. And that's going to be 2 bags, as Fick gets his second hit of the day. That'll score the run from third. Gives the Braves an even 10. Pushes the runner to third base, Andrew Jones. He's less than 0, so we're just going to leave him there. They're also up by a touchdown, so we'll just leave him there. Brings up Vinny Castilla, and runners at second and third for Vinny Vitavici. and a 305. Since he's at a 0, this comes off of Vinny's card. 305 against a righty is a fly ball. And he is going to pop this one up to first base. Waiting at first base is Eric Karros. And that'll be the third out of the inning. But Alfonseca does give up one more. It's now 10-3, our score. And trying to finish this one out is Trey Hodges, as he'll face off against Sammy Sosa, Moises Alou, and Aramis Ramirez. Sosa is 0-for-2. He's got a couple of walks. And he's facing Hodges. So he's a 1-12. So this comes off Sammy's card. 524 is going to be a strikeout. Sammy takes a mighty cut and comes up empty. And that'll bring up Moises Alou. Alou is 2-for-4. He had a big 2 RBI single back in the third inning. That was the last time the Cubs scored. This is a 1-15 for him, so this comes off his card. 741, and that's going to be a walk for Alou. As he'll stand at first base with Aramis Ramirez coming to the plate. Alou is a 0 stealer. He only tried 4 attempts, but we'll roll for his lead. 354 is a normal lead. There's no pickoff play. And Aramis Ramirez, he will control this at bat. A 155 is a grounder. And that goes to first base, picked up by the first baseman, Fick. And with a runner at first, let's see what happens on the play. 437, that's going to be here. 3-6 double play chance. Let's check Fick's double play rating. It's a 0. So we're definitely going to get that runner at first. On the fielder's choice, that's out number 2. And let's see about the return throw. He's a 0, so 541 to 710, they get him. And it's a 511, so that's going to be just into the fielder's choice range. So we'll go 3-6. There'll be 2 outs, and Aramis Ramirez standing at first base. He's a 0 stealer. So 832. Is a 0. It's a normal, no pickoff play. And Eric Karros to the plate. We can ignore this as Hodges is a 0. So a 0-0-5 is a ground ball. That's going to go to 113. Grounder to first base. Play is made. And with 2 outs, a 601 is a 3-1 put out. So Robert Fick tosses to Trey Hodges, who is covering first. And that's going to be out number 3. And that will end our ball game, as the Cubs don't score in the top of the 9th. And they're going to lose this one by a score of 3, 5, 9, 10 to 3. As the Braves come back in this one and put a whooping on the Chicago Cubs. A huge day for the top of the order here. You can see that's where all the runs were scored. And let me get the totals, and we'll come back and wrap this one up. All right, coming back, the Braves won this one 10-3 over Chicago at home at Turner Field. For Chicago, it's 3 runs on 6 hits and no errors. For Atlanta, 10 runs on 16 hits and no errors. Really, only trouble for the Braves coming early in the third inning. Otherwise, cruising to this win. 7 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 5 walks, but 7 strikeouts for Mike Hampton, who brings the Braves back to even in this series. Trey Hodges comes in and pitches 2 scoreless innings. For the Cubs, it's 5 innings, 10 hits, 5 runs for Carlos Zambrano. There's one run here. Sorry, that's not right. It should be 4. 4 runs given up by Jose Cruz. Dave Veers with a scoreless inning in the 2/3 kind of held everything in check there toward the end, but Alfonseca gives up an RBI double to Robert Fick in the 9th and gives the Braves an even 10. Player of the game is Andrew Jones, 3 for 5. He had 3 RBIs, a couple singles and a double. He was knocking in his brother Chipper with a 3 for 3 day, a couple walks, 3 runs scored, and an RBI. He was sort of player 1B, player of the game 1B, and player of the game 1C is Mark DeRosa, who goes 2 for 5, a couple runs scored, and 3 RBIs. He had a home run back in the first, drove in Rafi for a call. All right, so the Braves even this one up 2-2. So, first look at the 2003 set for the Precision Baseball. This will be the new set that comes out. 2023 is already available for purchase. You can go to clarkandaddisongaming.com and pick that up. Just $12, so pretty cheap price point for almost 1,500 player cards. They come as a PDF, so you can play it on a computer screen, or you can print and cut them out, or do whatever you want to do. This is what the cards look like. It's just 2003, you can see on here. But it's all the players from last season. So you can check that out. We have all the baseball parks. You can see Turner Field here I had to create. It does not exist in this space, but you'll get a nice picture of the ballpark. And these are all specifically created to be within this ballpark. So there's some into the second deck in the right field line. That's like a thing that would have happened into the chop house in right center field. This is the chop house, the old chop house. And so, there's like just some interesting little things into the second deck in left field. There was a second deck out here. That would be a big shot into left field. And all the new ballparks are going to be in there, including, well, the old ballparks, I guess. So I haven't finished those. I'm about halfway through the ballparks. So Shea Stadium, Olympic Stadium. So the Expos were still playing as the Expos. So Olympic Stadium in Montreal. And a lot of the newer stadiums like Camden Yards and things like that, they were just coming online at that point, Coors Field. So there's a lot of stadiums that we'll have to do the ballpark at Arlington when I get down to that. And there's some others that are older ballparks that are just going to have to come in. Trying to think of some of the others. Great American Ballpark was new, so don't have to do anything different with that. Busch Stadium was the old Busch Stadium, not the new one, so that'll be a part of that, and you'll see that. I did that one as well. But Wrigley and Fenway and all the normal ballparks are still there as they were before. Other than that, the manager tendencies, I have all the manager tendencies as well for each of the teams here. You can see Bobby Cox was for the Braves, and Dusty Baker was managing the Cubs in this series. And then we have all of their extra base. We have their managerial tendencies, but then we have also their extra base tendencies here. So this set will be just like the other. I'm revamping the gameplay sequences, so you can print those out and kind of have them around, and it does a better job of like explaining, okay, here's exactly what you need to do for each of these different types of things. Like when you have a range check, what do you need to do? When you have, how do you start each at bat? What are the formulas? And until you get that sort of memorized in your head, maybe you just need to remember that. Stealing bases, how do you calculate everything to steal a base? I'm doing it pretty quickly on the fly, but I've been playing this game for 2 years, so I have a little bit of an advantage over basically everybody in the world. But as more people play it, I think after a game or two, you'll get it. I still have to look up the pickoffs and stuff like that. I know what it is if there is a pickoff or not, and I generally know what it is if he's a good base runner. What kind of lead is he going to get? But I still have to look that up. And then for sure, like when there is an actual pickoff play, I've only had a handful of those in the games that I've played, so I haven't memorized those charts either. So I have those in the game guide, and you can look at those if you're doing solo play. There's a way to see, did the guy get a lead? If you're playing head to head, you can choose what kind of lead you want to get and then roll to see if there's a pickoff or not. Yeah, I think those are the major changes that are going to be made. Everything else is pretty much the same. Still need I'm using the on-base baseball score sheet, and it's okay. It has enough here for that, but I think I'd like to have a little bit more customized score sheet for this game. So maybe that'll be something I can do as a version 2 sort of thing. All right. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, click on subscribe. If you like this video, click on the thumbs up. Otherwise, go out and purchase the 2023 season, or you can wait for this one. But go out and get the season. It's only $12, and I kept the price low because there's a lot of printing that goes on in this game. But I want everybody to be able to have the chance to play it. And so there's a lot of printing and cutting, but once you get everything together, the game plays really well. It's very detailed, as you can see. And if you like a lot of detail in your games, then this might be the one for you. And so there's just a lot of things a lot of moving parts to try to figure out, precisely what's happening on the play, and figure out precisely what's going on with the game itself. All right. I think that's it from here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.